Hey everybody, what is going on? XX here with another Master Duel video for you guys today. In this one we are going to be taking a look at your guys' replays once again for viewer special number 7. As always, you have been very generous with the submissions, which I always appreciate. It's kind of, I know I said this last time, and oh my god, I'm probably going to say this for so many viewer specials to come, but it's like, I want to say like, wow, we're already on viewer special number 7, because it really does still feel like I just started doing these maybe 2 weeks ago, but I've been putting them out once a week, so we are almost at 2 months worth of viewer specials at this point, and I only have you guys, everyone out there watching and submitting to thank for it, because, you know, obviously without you guys submitting the games, I would not be able to show your guys' games. So yeah, for those who have never seen one of these before, maybe this is your first one, the viewer special is a weekly video I like to put out where I feature replays from the viewers as submitted. It can be any deck, does not have to be one I'm playing. And the way that you can submit them is if you take a look at my description, you'll find a link to my Twitter. And if you click that link and go to my Twitter, the very top tweet on my profile, my pinned tweet, is going to be one where I am curating all of the replays that I get. So you can feel free to drop the replays there, maybe a deck list if you want to as well. And yeah, that is the best way to get them featured. Now, if you don't have a Twitter, that is all right. What else you can do? What else? The other thing you can do, I should say, is you can just go down to the comments and leave a comment with the replay as well. And I am not only looking at Twitter, I am also looking at the YouTube comments as well. If you are able to put it on the Twitter thread, that is preferable, because that is a very nice and neat place where I can grab the replays all in one spot. But that's not to say I'm going to neglect the YouTube comments. I will definitely be looking there as well. So when I say submit the replay, there's a few pieces of information that I'm looking for from you guys. The main one is going to be your player ID, which is this 9-digit number right here. You're going to want to share that, and then you're also going to want to share the date and time of the replay, maybe the opponent's name as well, just enough information where I'm able to figure out exactly which game you would like me to feature. Or if you just have a few games saved and you're just like, pick one, that's cool too. I don't mind browsing around a little bit and taking a look at the games there. Just do make sure that you are saving them publicly. That is something that you have to do. If you just save it, then I won't be able to view it. You have to go save and make it public as well, and then I'm able to view the replay there. As always, I also want to remind you as well to please try to keep the replays up for a reasonable amount of time. I say reasonable. I mean, everyone's definition for that's going to be different, right? I guess what I mean when I say that is like at least a week or so, ideally, because I'm not always able to. It's actually, this one, it's kind of bad. It's been a little over a week since I've recorded a viewer special. I think it's been about a week and a half, so I'm going to hope a lot of these games are still here. That said, though, if, I miss your game, or if it ends up getting taken down before I can get to it, or if I just don't get to it, feel free to submit other games. You're not limited to the number of submissions. Please don't spam, like, the same game over and over again, but yeah, feel free to submit as many different replays as you want, and I am more than happy to take a look at them there. Oh, I guess also I kind of accidentally spoiled, because I think this will probably be the first video or after I've hit Diamond 1, which I did tonight on the night of the 7th, so you'll be seeing games of leading up to that pretty shortly here. But in any case, let us now go ahead and take a look at the first replay from one of you viewers. Okay, first game we are going to take a look at here comes from the Light288, who is submitting a game featuring a Dragon Link deck versus, I believe, Tri-Brigade. It's hard for me to read my own handwriting sometimes. That's just how poor it can be, but that should be, I believe, this game here, if I recall correctly, if I am reading correctly, as I meant to say. But yeah, I'm particularly interested to look in this deck because Dragon Link is one of those decks that's been on my proverbial list, which I actually have not written down. I should sit down and figure out actually what all decks I want to play, but the same quote-unquote list, so to speak, that Virtual World and Live Twin were on. Just decks I'm looking to build. Dragon Link is definitely one of them. So I'm very interested to see a game from the perspective of playing with the deck, because I haven't even been played against the deck all that much. A few times, enough times to get a general grasp of how the deck works. But yeah, I know obviously this boot sector launch I think is pretty key. Usually when I play against the deck myself, I find myself going to negate the Striker Dragon. I think that's a choke point, but not always. I think there have been times where I've negated it and they can combo anyway, but I couldn't tell you specifically off the top of my head. This Chaos Ruler is a synchro I've been meaning to craft for a little while because it's used in a fair number of decks, and it's got a pretty good effect there, being able to... It's kind of like an Adamantipator, but for like any light or dark monster, and it actually sends the rest of the graveyard, which is definitely a lot better than putting them on the bottom of your deck in the right deck, which obviously Dragon Link is definitely one of those decks that are the right decks for that. Okay, moving into another Striker Dragon. I always forget what the other effect is. You can target a face a monster you control and a rocket monster you give or destroy that monster on the field and then special. Okay. So that's how we bring back our Tracer, right? Yep. Okay, I remember this part of the combo. That's being our level 4 tuner. Okay, now we can use a Boot Sector launch. We get the Tracer out. Okay. And then I know, yes, sometimes they play, or is it all the time? I don't know actually about the Dragon Maid engine. Oh wow, that's that's pretty brutal. Just immediately the Lava Golem into the Lightning Storm. Yeah, Lava Golem is so annoying. Like, regular kaijus I actually don't mind too much. But Lava Golem in particular, it's a bit of a backbreaker. Well, it's a board breaker. Oh no, and then they brought back your Red Med. That's no good, is it? Okay, so we only have 2 Ashes right now. Rocket Synchron. Can I see? Oh, you can't see the extra deck. That's right. I just was curious if, like... Okay, I didn't think this deck played Hulk, but I wondered. That probably doesn't work. I bet there's enough things that restrict you into dragons that we're not able to do the Hulk line. Or a Hulk line, I guess, not the Hulk line. Wow, another Lightning Storm. Jeez. This was against... Oh, this might have been against Tri-Brigade Lyrilusk. I thought it was against Tri-Brigade Zodiac, but I should have realized... Well, I thought, yeah, I don't know, I guess Lava Golem could be a tech, but the barrier statue is leading me to think that this is Tri-Brigade Lyrilusk. When you're viewing other players' replays, you can't actually view the opponent's deck in that case, so... what's this here? Rocket Caliber. Yeah, rockets are one of those archetypes that I'm just overall not too... Okay, so it is... Okay, no, I guess it could still be burned up with the Fractal there. Good thing we have these Ashes here. Yeah, rockets as a whole are just an archetype I'm not too familiar with. Because again, I haven't played against them too much, and I've obviously never played with them as before Master Duel. I hadn't played since about 2017, early 2017 at that. Maybe even late 2016, actually, now that I think about it. I can never remember exactly, but in any case, Master Rule 4. Suffice it to say, in the end of Master Rule 3, were when I took my break there. Yeah, the fact that they have the barrier statue, it's got to be... oh, good thing we had the drop with there. It's got to be the Tri-Lyrilusk, I think. Going for 4 for Shurig there. I mean, I can see it, yeah. Oh, they have the Raigeki too. Wow, they had a Raigeki and 2 Lightning Storms? Really? That's... Wow, in the top 10 cards, huh? And a Lava Golem, too. That's, what, 3 board wipes? I know there's 4 technically with the Lightning Storm, but I think they use that on the back row. Then Chaos Dragon 11 here gets dropped. This is another card where I'm like... I have no idea when this came out. I can't remember if it came out when I played or not. I don't think it did. But it seemed to be a pretty good top deck there. Oh, I remember what else I was going to say about Rockets. Well, the only other thing, and I think I've mentioned this before, is that I've never actually watched Yu-Gi-Oh! Vrains, but I feel like if I were to watch it, like, Revolver's just got to be the best character, right? Or I say best, what I mean by that is my favorite. Like, I feel like Revolver would pretty easily be my favorite character, because, like, I've seen the scene on YouTube where he's summoning the Borlode Savage Dragon, and that's a pretty bitchin' scene, I'm not gonna lie, so... I feel like, I don't know, there's a part of me that wants to watch Vrains still, even though I wasn't a fan of Master Rule 4 at all. Seems like it was still a decent show. Oh, I got so busy talking about the anime that I wasn't even paying attention to the plays that we're making here. Oh, this card is so annoying, the Heretic Seal. Usually, when I play against Dragon Link, I find myself saving my call buys if possible, not even for their hand traps, but just for the Heretic Seal. There have been times where, like, I'll play against Dragon Link and they'll ash me and I'll just let it resolve, because then later in their turn they'll make a Heretic Seal, and then when they go to do that on my turn, then I can just flip a call buy and cancel it out right there. Yeah, right now I'm just kind of like in a mode of just watching me like, wow, things are happening. Ah, yeah, speak of the devil here. Here comes Borreload Savage Dragon. Probably my favorite Boral monster. Just in terms of, like, I don't know, its art and its effect. I don't know, it's just cool. It's a cool card. I remember watching that scene on YouTube this was before I even got back into the game, of Revolver summoning Borreload Savage Dragon and being like, wait, is that its IRL effect too? Because that seems pretty good if it's an actual Omni Negate. And then, of course, it did end up being an actual Omni Negate. Like, because I'm pretty sure it was in the show too, if I recall correctly. I know it stopped a monster effect, but yeah, very nice game there. Thank you very much for submitting that. Get to see how Dragon Links work. I might even go back and watch that again after the video's over, or like, you know, maybe sometime in the future when I'm looking to play Dragon Links, just to get an example of like lines, like non-linear lines, like, because obviously I can look up combo guides, but it's always nice to like see games as well where you know, the opponent's got responses and it's like a bit more disruptive and you have to kind of play it out longer. So thank you very much for submitting that. All right, let's take a look at the next game here. Okay, next game here comes to us from Super Saiyan Isaiah. Thank you very much for your submission. We're going to be taking a look at a game where they are playing Tri-Brigade versus Sword Soul. So I definitely always like to see games of that matchup from the Tri-Brigade perspective, because it's just obviously going to be a very common matchup. So it's just always nice to see how different people play around a little bit of a tougher matchup for Tri-Brigade there. Let's see here. That is going to be, yeah, it should be this one right here. Let's go ahead and take a look. Yeah, I think I'm going to try to feature a little bit more Tri-Brigade on the channel this season than I did last season. I don't think I got really... I think I barely got any Tri-Brigade Zodiac in, like, after I had climbed with it a little bit on ladder last season. I definitely would like to get more of it in this time around. Like, I mean, we all know, right? it's still, even after Sword Soul 10 come out, and even if they are the better deck, Tri-Brigade is still definitely my favorite deck of Master Duel right now, I think. At least of the ones I'm playing, of course. Heroes. We all know heroes. I was actually looking at hero lists, right? And I'm like, I think I can maybe get away with a list that only requires like 8 or 9 ultra rare craft points. Like maybe I can get away with it. So I might try. Who knows? Actually, if I get enough craft points left over after the new pack comes out, then yeah, then that could definitely be a possibility. But well, I was gonna say I shouldn't talk about heroes while we're looking at Tri-Brigades here, but then of course we have a hero monster on the board, so who knows, maybe I should be talking about heroes here. Looks like we got the Max C for their Ecclesia. It's not too bad there. I do recommend using the Max C after the Ecclesia activates, because it's a quick effect. They could potentially chain and get a free special summon at the draw. It got Ash here, so it doesn't matter. And in the grand scheme of things, that one draw probably won't make too much of a difference, but you never know. It always could. That last draw, you know, could be the Nibiru that you need. So, yeah, okay, we got the Revolt and the Droplet Chain Link as well here. Very, very nice. Sending the Revolt with the Droplet in order to more or less get a free Droplet off. Otherwise, obviously, we'd have to send like the DPE here. We're definitely not trying to do that. So, yeah, not only do we get to negate to the Moye here, but we also get our Shurig out, as well as, of course, the Search and Send from Nerval and Kit 2. And yeah, banishing the Moye for good measure is definitely not a bad idea here, because you might think like, oh, it's just a negated Moye. There's no real need to take care of it that way, but you know, they could still have a way to summon. Like, they could easily have a Long Yuan in hand that they could summon, and then that'll drop the token down. They could go for an 8 and go for a Chi Shao, make plays that way. So yeah, definitely best to just get the Moye after what, like, as they're doing right here. Like now, they have to go for a 10 and are not able to go into the Chi Shao and get the draw as well first. And yeah, we've got the DPE as well to blow up the token there. Looks like they have to go for a Shaman by... Oh, they normal summon the Moye, that's right. I was kind of confused there for a second. I was like, wait, what happened? Looks like they're pitching the call by for the Ashna. That's an interesting... Okay, I wonder what they're... Oh, they're playing the Berserker. Okay, I was like, wait, what are they doing with the... Shaman and the Ashna there? But yeah, they're playing the Berserker. I've considered playing Berserker in my Sword Soul extra deck, but Borreload Savage Dragon is too good. I think Berserker and Borreload are maybe like I don't know if they're equally niche, but Warlord is definitely the more powerful of the two options, so that's not to say I think Berserker is bad in Sword Souls, though. Okay, so we've got our Karis here, and now we peeled the Fusion Destiny. Oh, well, we already used the dot. We already made the DPE, so peeling the Fusion Destiny actually does not really do a whole lot here, but we do have the Chaos, and we do have another Tri-Brigade in hand, so yep, we can go for the Ferrigite, get the Nerval, and then are we making the Rugal and then setting up for an access code? Looks like we're going to set up for lethal here, because I think we have enough Tri-types in grave to just go for a Shurig outright, right? Well, and we have a Tanky anyway. I mean, of course, we got plays either way. Let's see, did we normal? Yeah, we normal the Chaos, right? Because we didn't have any other cards in hand. Or we only had the Fusion Destiny in hand otherwise, but yeah, we can just go ahead and special the Shurig, activate that, and then we can go into access code, and then pop the Monk, swing for its roll of 83. It's going to get us lethal there, so yeah, awesome. Interesting that we were able to play through a slightly alternative line that used Berserker. You actually don't really see... Oh, it's banished, right? It's in here, the Berserker. Which, yeah, I've only seen like maybe 2-3 times at most in all the times I've ever played against Sword Souls on ladder, so... And, yep, like I said, we're going to go for... that. I'm acting like I'm the one playing here. It's kind of just falling back into, like, subconscious commentary mode or something, but... we even have the Thoroughblade and the Fractal for backups at backups? Yeah, backups. I said that right at the end there. So thank you very much, Isaiah, for your submission. Very much appreciated. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at the next game. All right, next game comes to us from none other than Mixed P himself. We all remember Mixed P from the first viewer special, right? If you do not, then I highly actually suggest going ahead and checking that out. There should be a playlist. I think I've made one, right? I'll have to check after I record this video. I'm pretty sure I did. Made a playlist of all the viewer specials, so you can go over there and see them all there. And yeah, Mixed P was featured in the first one. I think we saw 3 games from him in that one, as we didn't have as many submissions as we're getting now when I first started. But yeah, I feel like it's been a while since we've seen a game from him, so we're gonna see him playing Sword Soul against good old Bird up there, and that should be this game right here. I'm always interested to watch other people play Sword Soul, because I feel like when I play the Sword Soul mirror on ladder, I see other people doing lines where I'm like, it looks a little weird, but then it ends up being kind of good in like a weird way. I don't know how else to describe it. I don't know if anyone else knows what I'm talking about. I might not have described that too well, but our hand here looks pretty solid. I mean, we've got Ashna, Adhara. Always nice to have C and Ash. The second C obviously is, excuse me, a bit dead, but not too bad, you know. There's definitely worse cards that have duplicates of the Max C, I think, even within this deck. Alright, going for the Hulk line here. Oh, but we get interrupted by the Ash Blossom. Oof, that's never fun. But it is what it is, especially when we don't have Cross-Out or Call By like this. Passing over to the opponent who, yeah, is playing Birds. So let's see what they end up doing here. Leading with the Fractal, setting up the Graveyard. Oh, but we've got the Ash, so no need to really worry about that. Oh, they've got the Cross-Out, though. But at least they won't have that for a Max C now. I'll be interested to see if they set up the Tri-Brigade line in the graveyard, or if they're going to set up a Bird. That would be pretty telling of what the rest of their hand looks like. Looks like it's going to be the Tri-Brigade, so if they are planning to do Bird combos, then they must have all the Bird combos already. Setting the Tri-Brigades could also, though, be a indicator of a more dead hand, which kind of looks like it is because they got the Chaos and threw out the Barrel Canary here. They might not actually have another Bird set up live. But we do have the Max C here, and like I said earlier, they did already use the Cross-Out, so pretty unlikely that they have Call By as well. I mean, sometimes, you know, that does happen, but, you know, if they have it, they have it. If they don't, they don't. That's kind of what it comes down to a lot of the time. And it's why I sometimes am a little bit, I don't know if I'm a little bit too bold. I feel like I tend to be relatively reserved when it comes to hand traps, but there's a lot of the time where if I see a line of play, I'll just go for it. Because there are enough games where, like, if you don't have, like, the Cross-Out, like in a hand like this where you don't have the Cross-Out or the Call By, right, we can't just, like, sit around and wait until we draw it to make plays. We kind of just gotta go for it. Sure, they'll have the hand traps sometimes, like they even had the Max C here, which is pretty annoying, but in that case, especially given that we can now attack, Sometimes you just kind of have to go for it. And it looks like that's actually going to be what we're doing here, at least to an extent. Using the Vishuda to pop the back row, or not pop, but bounce the back row. Definitely not a bad idea there, as it looks like we're going to use Taya in order to make, we're making Baxia to put the Shurig and the Kiros back. We're going to make Chi Shao. Nope, we're making the Baxia. That's kind of what I thought was going to happen here. So yeah, that'll be a nice way to get rid of the Shurig, because it'll prevent them from getting a search. Not that it really matters, because it looks like we're probably going to end up just going for game at this point, or at least trying to. Yeah, we can send a Moye here with the Taya, and since we have the Protoss in hand, we'll send either the Monk or the Adhara. Looks like the Monk here in order to summon the Moye, and then we can use the Moye effect to reveal the Protoss. And actually, because we have Baxi on board, we can even go for Chao Feng in order to stop us from getting the Nibiru here, as Chao Feng will prevent the activation of light effects. Yeah, it's like almost like I'm psychic or something. As far as like what the plays that are forthcoming are. So yeah, now we can just go ahead and make good old Chi Shao. That'll let us search up. We'll get a search and a draw. We'll use some amount of that to get Long Yuan, I imagine, setting up our level 10. We don't have to worry about Nibiru, so that being the case, there's not really too much else that's going to stop us. I don't remember if we've been ashed this turn already. I think that ash was earlier, wasn't it? Well, regardless of what we've been, yeah, that ash was on the Hulk, so there's a chance we could still get ash, but even if we do, it's really not that big of a deal. I mean, we've already got all of our powerhouse synchros on board. Yeah, Calling Dark is definitely nice there, because that'll prevent them from getting into Shurig or access code. So even with a hand that large, even if they did have, even if they did survive this turn, they still wouldn't be able to summon like any of their boss monsters or go for any kind of really significant plays. The only like upper link monster they could even make in that situation would be Appaloosa, which obviously against a board of established synchro monsters does not really do a whole lot. So yeah, cool. That was very nice. Playing through Maxi and also ensuring that Nibiru didn't become an issue as early as possible. Thank you, as always, for the excellent game there, Mixed P. Let's go and take a look at the next one. Okay, so this game is going to come to us from Numsi here. I'm not sure how it's pronounced there. They are going to be featuring a Dinosaur deck playing against Dragon Link. Dinosaur is another one of those decks. It's kind of like Heroes in a way for me, where it's a deck that I'm curious about, and but it just costs so many ultra rare points that I don't know. I just can't justify. It's like every time I see a deck that would cost me like 9 or 10 ultra rare craft points, or not craft points, gee, if only, like 9 or 10 ultra rares to craft, like 270 to 300. I'm just like, I could make like 2 or 3 different decks, at least 2, but probably 3 different decks with that many craft points, just always what I end up thinking. So once again, I am eager to see lines from not only our deck here, but also the opponent, as any chance to study up on Dragon Link is definitely a welcome one for me here. Okay, looks like this one is playing Hulk, which I did think that sometimes you did play Hulk, but so maybe it's an issue, or not an issue, maybe it's a situation where sometimes you can play it, sometimes you don't. I'd be interested to try it either way, actually, with or without the Aurora Online. That's interesting. Yeah, I actually haven't. I mean, it might be a bit telling that I haven't really done that much research, which is what I was about to say. Because I don't know, some people who are more familiar with Dragon Link might be like, "Duh! Like, of course you can play Hulk or Aurora, but you don't have to," or something. I don't know, but just goes to show. Oh, I think I've seen this variant before. The Garden Rose Maiden. Garden Rose Maiden. Yeah, that's what it's called. For some reason, it doesn't sound right. Garden Rose Maiden. I think it's because there's like Garden Maiden, but you'd think it would be Garden Maiden, but then it's Garden Rose Maiden. I don't know. Oh, the card queries. It's been a while. It's been a while since I've seen that. Oh man, I don't know. This is a bit of a Yugi Boomer thing. Not too much of one. I think this deck was really popular around like 2012. But does anyone remember KMP Karakuri Machina Plant? That was a very, very fun deck. I think that was actually. Was that 2011 or 12? I think it was 11 now that I think about it. I don't remember, but very fun deck. Alright, so yeah, this actually looks like a very different take on Dragon Link. It seems like, oh, right, this is the one that goes for VFD. This was mentioned on, I think Twitter is where you posted this. That's right, you mentioned that it was like a Dragon Link deck that went into VFD. which I've never encountered on ladder before. That's wild. I didn't know Dragon Link could do this. But I mean, it kind of seems like when you can Hulk Auroradon, just anything is possible. Like the whole world opens up to you if you can Hulk Auroradon, which is actually pretty true, honestly. Okay, so they are going to call Dark on us, but playing Dinosaurs, I don't think there's any Dark effects in hand, right? Isn't it mostly Earth's? What is the Ultimate Conductor Tyranno? Is a light. Wow. There's sometimes light monsters you just look at and you're like, really? I mean, I guess, okay, it's got the glowing lights on it. That would kind of make it light, but you would think it would be Earth or Dark just looking at the art. But I guess the art doesn't always have to, you know, define what attribute it ends up being. That kind of reminds me of, I think it's a tweet I saw where it's like, looking at Rika, you know, the Rika archetype, like looking at their art and being like, okay, what defines a plant monster? Because these are just like women that are standing in a garden. It's like, yeah, that's not untrue. I can definitely see that. Or it's like Blackwings. I've seen other people point this out, but I've had this thought ever since Blackwings first came out, where it's weird to me that some Blackwings are actual birds and then others are dudes in bird costumes. Like you look in, like Sirocco is a good example of that, and Bora. Well, Bora, I guess, Bora has the eyes, which could be a headdress, or maybe it's just like got a weird bird upper half of a face and then a human lower half of its face, but I don't know. Sirocco is definitely a dude in a bird costume. I don't know. But of course now here I am once again talking about a completely different deck than either one we're looking at here. Yeah, looks like they were able to stop. Well, yeah, they had the VFD, so of course we didn't do too much, but we do still have the Ultimate Conductor Tyranno, which is of course like the main reason to play Dinos. Like this card is so ridiculous, being able to flip everything face down as a quick effect. And then looks like we managed to get the Dolka online as well. It's weird. I don't know why, but you ever have those like random memories where you just, for whatever reason, you remember the exact moment you found out something completely, like, not inconsequential, I guess, but like, I don't know, the only thing I'm going with this is that for some reason I still remember the exact place I was when I read Volzar Dolka for the first time on my phone. The like leak or it being spoiled by Konami or whatever. I still remember I was like at my university. I still remember the building I was standing outside of. I don't know why. Whenever I think of Dolka, I just think of that moment, the first time I read its effect on the phone, and being like, oh, okay, cool, so in addition to Logia, we're getting this now too, so Dino Rap is just going to be busted here. It's that just random thing I thought of when I saw Dolka there. Yeah, that's the other ridiculous thing about Ultimate Conductor Tyranno, is that at 3,500 attack points, like, don't underestimate monsters that have a lot of attack points, because some decks, like, just can't get over them, and that apparently was the case here with our opponent staring down this Conductor Tyranno at 3,500 attack points. I guess their deck just didn't have the output to either remove it with an effect or run over it. So, thank you very much for the replay. I greatly appreciate it. Let's go ahead and take a look at the next one. Okay, so this is going to be the last replay of the video. This one comes to us from Yusef, who has submitted to us before. Looks like they are playing Virtual World against Sword Souls, so I'm definitely down to see. I think they mentioned in the tweet something about how there was like an alternative line here, or I think they might have summoned. Hang on, let me make sure. Yeah, it should be this one here, or that like they summoned a VFD twice in a game here. So if it's Virtual World alternative lines, I'm definitely down to take a look and learn here. So as I like to mention quite often, one of the things that I enjoy most actually about the Viewer Special Series is that by watching you guys play and watching your lines, I can often learn new things about decks that even if they're decks that I'm not playing, it's still definitely nice to learn lines that decks can do for when you play against them. Might help you recognize when they're, because when you really learn the different lines that a deck does, you can kind of start to recognize not only what they're capable of doing with their hand, but maybe what the rest of their hand looks like as a result of the play that they're making. So, and I've always said that, one of the best ways to learn, not just Master Duel or card games, but literally any game in general, one of the fastest and best ways to learn a game is to watch other people play it. That's always, you will learn so much more from watching other people play than just only focusing on your own games, which is a mistake I kind of made when I played Hearthstone at first. Like, I was like, because, you know, Hearthstone doesn't have a save replay thing, so I'd record my games and watch them back, but I wasn't really watching other people. I was just kind of like reading guides and trying to learn from my own games. But it, you know, when you watch other people, it introduces new trains of thought that, you know, you might not necessarily come up with yourself. It's about inspiration. It's a form of creativity, really. Like, you can't inspire yourself. I mean, you can sometimes, but it's more easy, and you'll get a more potent inspiration from watching others. I just also realized we're playing through a maxi here on turn 1, which is Yusuf, you are far more bold than I. That is not something I ever do. Although, I don't know. I guess if we're making True King plus Chuchi, they can't really do anything, right? They would have to have Imperm plus Droplet. If they have Imperm plus Droplet, then they could stop it. I'm just always afraid they're gonna have the Nibiru, right? If you give them this many draws. But I guess we had the cross out, right? I mean, we just played it, didn't we? Oh, no, they had the cross out. No, we didn't have a cross out. Yeah, you are definitely more bold than I. Although I imagine, well, I mean, we know that we're gonna end up winning this game, so it's not an I imagine. This does end up paying off in the long term here. That was a Plague Spreader. Okay, so I think it's like Rose Tenyi as opposed to Sword Soul. It would be a bit odd for Sword Soul to be playing Twin Twister, considering they don't even normally play Feather Duster or Lightning Storm. For them to play Twin Twister as well, yeah, that does seem a bit odd. So perhaps it is not Sword Soul Tenyi, but rather, okay, yeah, it's definitely some other Tenyi variant. But yeah, thanks to our VFD, our opponent is not able to do too much here. The Ash could be a decent draw. Can't we make a level 9 with that? Well, I mean, I guess we don't need that if we got the King Long here. Yeah, we can just get the Lao Lao and do actual virtual world stuff. That's kind of one of those moments where I was just like, you know what? I'll just watch. I'll just watch and learn. Oh yeah, because we're gonna go, okay, for the Vermilion Dragon. Oh, because if we banish the Nyan Nyan. Oh, I thought we were gonna put the VFD back. Is there another way we're gonna? Again, maybe I'm misremembering, but I'm pretty sure if I remember right, the tweet said that you summoned VFD twice. But we were able to beat the 9 pillars, which is definitely good. Okay, let's see what we go into next here. Is this where we make? Oh, the Stellar Wolf. Oh, that I knew you could play this, but I hadn't thought about it in a while. What does this do again? Gains 300 attack, each time monster, all cards less than 4,000. So 4,000, you can shuffle this card and all monsters. It's not too bad. So 300, so 5 effects. So once 5 monster effects have activated, you can, well, one, it's at 4,000 attack, which, as we just saw in the last game with dinos, you know, just having big stats is often good enough. Oh, we already put the True King back. Jesus, I must have missed that. I was probably rambling about something. I'm just like, wait, when did that happen? Okay, wait, I saw return. Oh, they returned it with Vishuda, got it. But okay, yeah, I know with Nyan Nyan you can return a banished VFD to the extra deck there with that method as well. Okay, so it looks like they are going to get to pop our VFD because the Crocodragon's destruction effect is a quick effect one, but the VFD's effect is still going to linger, and it also costs them 2 cards from their hand. Looks like a Moye and a Vishuda. I wonder what's going on with their hand. Well, it's not something going on with their hand, no, it's the VFD that's been stopping them. I was like, huh, I wonder why they're not making plays. Like, yeah, gee, I wonder. Getting the Chuchi there, and then we get to bring back the Nyan Nyan as well. Wow, this is what I love about Virtual World, and what I have always hated about playing against them is that their plays just don't ever quit. Like, they have plays for days. Plays for days. They just start, like, recycling back the stuff that they've already been using. That's nuts. And the opponent just concedes there. Love Virtual World. So thank you very much for showing off this game and those lines of play. I very much appreciate the chance to learn like that. All right, let's go ahead and move on to the outro. I think that's going to do it for today. Okay, everybody, I want to thank you very much for watching today's video, especially all the way to the very end like this. That, as always, means a great deal to me when you all do that. Another way that it's a great way to support the channel, blah, is what I meant to say. And then what I was going to say is that another way to support the channel is you can comment and or subscribe. I'm very much appreciative to those of you who are doing that as well. Comments, love to see them from you. You know it, I say it all the time because it's very, very true. Yeah, just the insight. Once again, it's like I talked about. It's the same reason I like watching your guys' replays as well. Is that the insight that you offer in order to just help further expand, like, you know, my own mental horizons, I guess, so to speak, right? Is very, very invaluable, and I very, very much appreciate it. It means a lot to me that you guys always turn out in droves. Like, there's sometimes I'm like, oh, am I gonna have to make like 2 videos this week, 2 viewer specials this week, just to stay caught up on the submissions? So definitely keep them coming. And again, if yours have not been featured, well, one, and I meant to mention this at the beginning of the video, but one, I do sort of backlog these, so if yours hasn't been featured yet, it could still be coming in an upcoming video very easily. And even if that's not the case, you know, feel free to submit another replay, and you know, I'll go ahead and take a look at that one as well. And yeah, if you just want to submit them till you get featured, again, don't spam it, please, but yeah, go right ahead. That is totally fine with me. I do try to get new people in as often as possible, as well as some old favorites. So don't feel like, you know, oh, I've never submitted, I probably won't give you. No, not at all. Definitely go right ahead. But yeah, I think that's about all I've got for this one, though. So without further ado, this is XLex signing out, and I hope you guys have a fantastic day.